V.I. Lenin, the Liquidators leader on the Liquidators Terms of Unity, published, Put Pravdy No. 12, February 4, 1914. Signed, K.T. Published according to the text in Put Pravdy. Source: Lenin Collected Works, Progress Publishers, 1972, Moscow, Volume 20, pages 95 to 98. Translated, Bernard Isaacs and the late Joe Feinberg. Transcription / markup, R symbol. A public domain, Lenin Internet Archive. You may freely copy, distribute, display and perform this work, as well as make derivative and commercial works. Please credit Marxist's Internet Archive as your source. Read me. Every crisis, every turning point in any movement, is particularly interesting, and particularly useful to those who belong to it, in that it brings into clear and sharp focus that movement's fundamental trends, its fundamental laws. The International Socialist Bureau's decision to arrange an exchange of opinions among all groups in Russia's working-class movement also marks a certain crisis or turning point in the movement. It will undoubtedly be very useful loyally, as the resolution of the International Socialist Bureau expresses it, i.e., sincerely, to exchange opinions before an authoritative international body. It will make everybody take a closer and more serious look at the course of the working-class movement in Russia. We ought to be extremely grateful to Mr. F. D., the well-known leader of the Liquidators, for having of his own accord published in Novaya Rabuka Gazeta No. 108 an extremely valuable statement of his views on amalgamation, covered with only a thin veil of convention and bashfulness. Our best greetings to Mr. F. D. It is pleasanter by far to talk with the opponent himself than with muddled or feeble go-betweens, etc. With praiseworthy candor Mr. F. D. sets forth and compares two points of view on amalgamation. One of them he rejects as profoundly erroneous, the other he approves of and adheres to. This is how Mr. F. D. sets forth the first point of view. One may argue thus: the differences among the social democratic trends in Russia are negligible. Therefore, on the grounds of their negligibility, we must, with help from the International, devise some organizational form of amalgamation, either federation, or a certain quota restricting the powers of any majority. Once an acceptable external form of unity is found, the negligible differences will vanish of themselves, everything will come right in the end. Mr. F. D. calls this point of view profoundly erroneous, without, however, naming its advocates, Trotsky, Kautsky, and all the conciliators in general. The veil of convention and bashfulness must have prevented Mr. F. D. from mentioning the well-known names of the supporters of this profoundly erroneous idea. But actually concealment of the truth benefits only the opponents of the working class. Thus, the views of the conciliators are profoundly erroneous. Why is that? In answering this question Mr. F. D. winds the veil thrice round his bashful face. It will explode, he says, it will lead to collapse, be the differences great or small. The words quoted in italics give Mr. F. D. away completely. Murder will out, however you veil it. With the full candor you reveal, Mr. F. D., Your petty evasions are useless and ridiculous. Are the differences negligible, or are they not negligible? Give us a straight answer. There is no middle course, for the point at issue is whether unity is possible. Yes, it is possible if the differences are negligible, or small, or impossible. No, it is impossible if the differences are not negligible. In condemning the negligible differences, Mr. F.D. admitted thereby that the disagreements are important. But he was afraid to say so openly. What would the seven say? What would Trotsky, the Buntists, and all the conciliators say? He tried to wrap his answer in a long-winded and deadly dull discourse on the second point of view on unity. But even in this long-winded discourse it is not difficult to get to the heart of the matter. This platform, i.e., the one that Mr. F.D. considers desirable and acceptable, must ensure the non-Leninists full opportunity, within the United Social Democratic Party, to campaign and fight for the open existence of social democracy. Enough. Quite enough, Mr. F.D. This is the real gist of the matter, not phrases or declamations. To ensure the liquidators full opportunity to fight the underground, that is what Mr. F.D.'s platform amounts to, since everybody understands perfectly well that the fig leaf of a fight for open existence is intended to cover up the fight against the underground, which all workers know is being waged. That is the crux of the matter, and all those Trotsks, ANS, Buntists, conciliators, sevens, and so forth, are nice people, but political non-entities. The heart of the matter is in Mr. F.D.'s group, the old group of liquidators. The Marxist organization's differences with this group are absolutely irreconcilable, for agreement, let alone unity, not only with those who repudiate the underground, but even with those who have any doubts on that score, is totally out of the question. The workers have long realized that this is the crux of the matter as far as the liquidators are concerned, for they dismissed the latter from office in all fields of the working class movement. There was a time when the Marxist organization condemned the liquidators. That time has long passed away. There was a time when the Marxist organization proclaimed forgiveness and peace to all who were prepared to renounce liquidationism. That time has long ago passed away. There was a time when the Marxists re-established their organization, in opposition to the liquidators. That time, too, has passed away. Then came a time when the Marxist organization won over the overwhelming majority of the class-conscious workers, in opposition to all and sundry liquidators together with their allies. This has been proved by incontrovertible facts. The proportion of Bolshevik deputies elected by the worker curia rose from 47% in the Second Duma elections to 50% in the Third Duma elections, and to 67% in the Fourth Duma elections. In the course of 21 months, between January 1, 1912 and October 1, 1913, the party rallied 2,000 workers' groups, while the liquidators and all their allies united only 500. Not only have Mr. F.D. and his friends made no attempt to refute these incontrovertible facts, but they themselves, speaking through Mr. Rakhine in the columns of Nasha equals Zaria, have admitted that the masses of the workers support the Bolsheviks. Clearly, anyone who offers the Marxist organization a platform giving the liquidators every opportunity to liquidate that organization, anyone who, in the name of unity, flouts the will of the vast majority of the class-conscious workers, is simply making a mockery of unity. Do you want unity? Then renounce liquidationism unequivocally, renounce the fight for open existence, and submit loyally to the majority. You do not want unity? You may please yourself, but do not complain if, in a few months' time, you will have no worker following left at all, and you will have become not near party but near cadet intellectuals. Notes the seven Menshevik liquidator deputies forming part of the Social Democratic group in the Fourth Duma. An, pseudonym of N. Jordania, leader of the Caucasian Mensheviks. Nash Azaria, our Dawn illegal monthly of the Menshevik liquidators, published in St. Petersburg from 1910 to 1914. The Liquidators Center in Russia formed around this journal. Works Index, Volume 20, Collected Works, LIA Index less than backward forward greater than.